Welcome to our Excel training. With the group by formula that we started using in Microsoft Excel 365 versions, we can now group our data from the lists we have and automatically get the totals of the fields we want. For example, in the list we have, there are open and closed orders. If we want to reduce the open and closed orders here to 1 and get the totals of the order quantity and amount on the side, while we used features like pivot table grouping before, now they are equal by saying group by. Look here, first of all, we choose where we will group. Which range will we group? Semicolon. The place it says values is where the values are. Let's select the total of the quantity and amount here. Let's say add these. Semicolon. And which formula will we use? Since we want to get the total, I write sum. When you write sum, close the parenthesis and press enter. Look, deficits, close deficits, total amount totals. And you will see that the totals come automatically. Either let's take these as titles like this. Let's paste them to the side like this, so that their widths come the same. Let's select here too. Ctrl Shift. Let's separate the one above from the thousands digit. Now, after doing this, I paste the same title to the side again, and I made the widths from here again. For example, we may not want to show the total value here, the total value, or we may want to take the averages. Look, I'm coming back here. Equals, group by. What was the question? Where will we sum? Where will we group? We will group here, semicolon. Which values will we group? Semicolon of the numbers in the range that I selected. Which formula will I use? I select average from here. When I close the parenthesis and press enter, I see when the averages of these appear. Now, of course, even though I selected average, the title came as total. I may not want to show this here. That's why I'm coming here again. Look, let me enlarge it, not in the first formula, but in the second formula. After coming here, let's come to the end of average. Let's put another semicolon. This may come as a comma in your Excel, friends. You can see this semicolon here. The first question is whether we have headings. The second question is whether we want to take the total. When you write 0 here, it means I don't want the total. When you press enter, look at the bottom. We hid the total part. The group by formula is really nice. It's a very useful formula. Now, for example, let's group according to the current names here. Now, I'm coming back here. Equals, group by. I select my currents. Group the data here, semicolon. Which values will we get? We will get the values here, semicolon. Which formula will we use? I will use the sum formula. Since I wanted to get a total, when I pressed enter, the values here were added up and appeared before me. The grand total figure below also appeared directly before us. We can use the group by formula for these purposes. A very nice feature. A very nice new formula in Excel, a formula that came in the 365S. So one step further, how do we bring the open and closed totals of the companies here under each other? Look, this is what we do. Equal. I say group by again. This time, when selecting, we select broadly like this. I will bring the open and closed companies. Semicolon. Where will we add? I will add the amount and consistent values here. Semicolon. I'm doing SAM. I will get the total. Semicolon again. I moved on to the headings. Semicolon again. Now, if I say grand total here, it will get the grand totals at the bottom. Look, when you select 2, we can see the grand total and subtotals at the top directly from here. Look, let's try it. Let's make it 2. Let's close the parenthesis. When you press enter, if you pay attention, now the total of Anadolu Construction's open and closed companies have arrived. And here is Anadolu Construction's grand total. So there are 7 orders in total. Their totals and the totals of the figures are like this. Look, I took them here directly. Okay, that's where I came from. I'm deleting this 2 again. I just wrote 1 instead of 2. Look, when you wrote 1, if you pay attention, it only brought the totals of their open and closed companies. But it didn't bring Anadolu Construction's own grand total. Look, it didn't take the subtotal. It just gave the grand total at the bottom. What's the difference from before? If you pay attention, when I wrote 2 here, Excel automatically took the subtotals here. Okay, let's change it again. Let's write -1 instead of 2. Look, right there. What will the formula do this time? Let's fix this again. Let's make it -1 instead of 1. This time, as you can see, it took the total on top, friends. Similarly, if you make the -1 here -2, this time I took the totals we grouped on the top, as you can see. This is a nice feature about the subtotals appearing on top or bottom. Look directly from here. We did this with the group by function. Let's come back here, and from here let's make it 2 again so that the data is collected. And the grand total comes down to us like this. From here, we can also perform operations such as coloring the places containing formulas for subtotals, or places where there are group totals. The group by formula is very nice. It is a very broad formula. We have used the group by formula in 4 examples here together. Averages are not necessarily numbers here. Look, we can do different things. After coming to group by, for example, I selected here semicolon. Let's select the values here again. Semicolon. Now here I can see the maximums, minimums, or values like bringing textual expressions from array to text value from here. For example, if I select max from here, this is very much in Excel if max it corresponds to the max ifs formula. It will bring us the highest values. Look, it will bring us the highest sales values that we have made to those companies. Similarly, let's do an example as the 6th example. For example, let's say equals group by again. Look, I'm selecting the data here, semicolon. In the values section, I'm selecting the open and closed ones here, semicolon. In the function section, I'm selecting this array to text. I'm selecting this. When I close the brackets and press enter, an interesting thing comes up. If you notice here, Anadolu Insert has 3 options: closed, open, closed. Look, there are 2 of them here. And when you look here, it brought these data directly across as closed, open, and closed. Of course, this does not sound right in total. It would not be right. So let's come to this. We say no to semicolon headings. We remove the total below by saying no totals to the second one. This was a feature needed in pivot tables, and the task of bringing textual expressions here by combining them was a difficult feature. But as you can see, we are now making it very easy with the group by formula. The group by formula is a formula that comes to Excel's 365 versions. Friends, if you are a 365 user and English Excel is equal. If you don't see it when you type group by, it will come to your Excel with updates in the near future. We can use it in a similar way. It is a very nice formula for collapsing and summarizing large tables. We can now easily do all kinds of operations with the group by formula without the need for formulas such as sum ifs, count ifs, average ifs to collapse, use, and sum long lists. See you again in the next training video. Goodbye.